And just like that, we're back again with another update on XRP. Appreciate you guys' support. Continue supporting, and you will see a continuation of these updates. But as we are going into Sunday morning, we're seeing a retracement for the broader market. A few coins up right now, but majority of the market is seeing a little bit of a retracement. But we need to keep in mind we're still in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual due to the fact that CME futures are closed. But looking across the board, we are seeing majority of the market seeing a retracement. The price of XRP right now is at $3.21, down about 3.5% in USD, also down about 4.3% in Bitcoin. Comparative valuation sitting at $190.3 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $5.1 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So we're going to start off with this. The top 100 Bitcoin treasuries hold almost 1 million Bitcoin. Yes, guys, 1 million BTC. Remember, there's always going to be 21 million Bitcoin. There's not ever going to be more than 21 million Bitcoin. And here we have 1 million BTC held by the top 100 Bitcoin treasuries. Let that sink in. That's almost $118 billion in assets. And I totally agree with what Nomad says here. We are witnessing a structural shift in global capital allocation. Corporate balance sheets, ETFs, and nation states are now treating Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Exciting developments coming out of, Latin this morning, with Argentina now boosting 20% of crypto participation. This is happening globally. It's happening globally, and this should really give you a better understanding how far this has really come. But take a look at this. Ethereum flips MasterCard to become the world's 22nd largest asset by market cap. Huge stuff, of course. And with the way the dominance is going down, which kind of sums everything up. And of course, if you've been looking at even at the inflow numbers that I share with you guys, that tells you everything we need to know. But take a look at this. XRP and Solana ETF flows March to July of 2025, and this is futures-based Solana and XRP ETFs launched in March and April. So since then, the category has taken over $1 billion new dollars, and that includes Rex Osprey Solana Plus staking ETF, which has nearly 150 million AUM. Nate says, in my opinion, proves that there will be real demand for the 33 Act XRP and Solana ETFs. And I totally agree. People are very, very fast to judge the futures number. Well, billion, it's nothing, this and that, yada, yada, yada. But we're talking about futures, numbers. Imagine spot numbers. And what a lot of people will completely forget, and I have not seen one person mention this, and I want to really share this with you guys. If you're noticing Ethereum inflows, and I'm talking about spot Ethereum ETF inflows, before Ethereum barely saw any inflows. If you've been noticing, if you've been keeping track of the Crypto ZX channel, we've been obviously covering the ETF inflow numbers, and Ethereum barely got any. And recently, over the last month and a half, almost 2 months, we've been seeing huge spikes in the ETF flows, record highs. Never seen this much inflows coming into Ethereum. So there's times where we were stagnant, and then you saw the increase. And I personally believe that is going to happen. Oopsie, sorry guys. I personally believe that is going to happen with none other than the Solana and XRP ETFs when they go live, just based off of the demand factor. There is a lot of demand for these assets. These asset managers are not just coming blindly and just going ahead and trying to file for these spot ETFs. They understand the demand factor and they understand the potential. Hence, you are seeing so much interest coming in. And we talk about retail interest, but we are obviously now needing to understand that there is that institutional interest that needs to be considered as well. But take a look at this. Shout out to Vincent. Insane volumes for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It just shows that XRP time has not come yet. Still struggling to break 10 billion volume. One day XRP volume will exceed 50 billion, and then you can see this soar. Patience is a gift only given to those with, humility. And always remember that, more you take, the less you have. I totally agree with that. Patience is such an important rule, and I say this on my channel time and time out. Patience is your number one key to follow if you have done your due diligence, research, and have invested where you can afford to lose. People tend to always talk about, oh, Ethereum is going up crazy, Bitcoin is going up crazy, and kind of talk about when these two assets were pretty much worth like really, really cheap, and now they're at crazy prices. And you can even make the same statement with XRP. Just literally not even a year ago, we were sitting at 50 cents, and here we are sitting at $3.30. So people have already forgotten about that. And what time and time out, what are you trying to understand from this? That patience is your number one key to follow. And retail, believe it or not, retail has very small percentage of the retail investors that actually understand the importance of patience. We've come to a reality where everyone wants instant gratification, instant gains. If it doesn't happen, they're losing patience. That's not how life works. That's just not how life works, because if it did, I promise you everyone would be living in major mansions, driving Lamborghinis, and living a lavish life, which you see on social media. And social media has already kind of made the way people think now just completely flawed, in my opinion. But this is what I want you guys to kind of realize. Patience is your number one key to follow. And that is something that Vincent also says, and I totally agree with Vincent's statement. But take a look at what Andrew says. Now that XRP is free to accept a lot of FUD and misinformation about XRP coming. Totally agree with that, either from people that hate XRP or are passionate, by doing that to manipulate the market. And we have seen this time and time out again. Again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. We are already starting to see a lot of FUD coming in for XRP, but I think the price is still holding really, really nicely because people are really understanding what Ripple is doing. And take a look at this. Again here, Jack the Rippler said this: XRP has achieved a remarkable 1-week return and secured the top spot in Grayscale's weekly snapshot of the top 10 crypto assets. Here we have it, just right in front of us, and this is as of August 7th, 2025, just a few days back. And look what Ali Charge says, who is of course an analyst on Twitter. You can see XRP targets $11 after breaking out of the bullish flag on the weekly chart. Very, very insane price prediction. We're going to take it one step at a time, but obviously there's a lot of price predictions being thrown around. Do let me know in these comments down below what you guys personally think about this. But if you're looking at the dominance, of course, dominance is pulling down exactly what we want to see. We broke below 60%. Amazing, amazing stuff to see here. We have gone a little bit up right now since then due to the fact that, Bitcoin did see a little bit of a shakeout. Over the course of the last few hours, we were sitting at 118,700. You can clearly see we came down to 117, which of course is going to have an impact on the broader market as well as the dominance. Dominance did go up a little bit, but that July low is playing as a resistance for us, as to be expected. But the fact that we did breach below 60% is a good sign, and I am anticipating we are going to continue to make our way towards the downside. If you're looking at XRP, right now, you can see, of course, it's going to react, to the broader market. If you think it's not gonna, then I hope you guys realize it is going to react to BTC as well as dominance. But look what XRP was able to do. We did come up to, yes, guys, yes, that is correct. We did come up to almost at that $3.37, but we did come down to the likes of $3.15 due to BTC. But look, we have been able to reclaim back up to the $3.20 quite fast. Target remains to be the same at the $3.40. Obviously, as to be projected, a little bit of a resistance that is coming in our way. If this is able to flip into support, I am personally projecting us to start pushing up to all-time highs. But we're going to take it one step at a time. Let's take a look at the broader market. Obviously, I think the CPI numbers go live sometime this upcoming week. Do expect a little bit of volatility going into this week. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But we'll see you later in Cryptos DX, and peace out.